Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing a makeup tutorial on this look. For those that don't know, I have recently signed a partnership contract with Wow Presents, so I am now a part of the Wow Network, which is really exciting. When I started this YouTube channel a year ago, I never thought it would get to this point, so I am super happy to grow my audience and share my content with you guys. You guys have always wanted me to do more tutorials, so I wanted to do this wintry red eye and lip. I hope you guys enjoy it. Make sure you give it a thumbs up and share and subscribe. So I have covered my eyebrows off camera. If you want to know how I've done that, you can click on the screen now. I'm going to be taking my 9W in the Krylon TV paint stick, and I'm going to be taking it on a brush like this. So starting where my natural brow begins, I'm just going to start mapping my new brow out. So once you're happy with that, I'm going to go around the edges and clean that up, taking my 4W in the Krylon paint stick. Then taking 070 in TV paint stick, which is a white, I'm going to be taking that underneath the brow bone to act as a brow bone highlight. Then taking my finger, I'm going to blend the white down just to sort of diffuse the edge. Then using the same brush, I'm going to go back into my 4W and do the front of the brow. I'm then going to put some of that product on my lid just to act as a primer for when I bring the eyeshadows in. So once you're happy with that, I'm going to put my contact lenses in now just because I can't see and my mirror is pretty far away from my face, and for those that don't know, I am pretty blind. I can see now. Taking my 4W, I'm going to work on the forehead. I'm going to just take this on the circumference of my forehead, then blending that into the skin using a damp sponge. Just going to work that product into the front of the brows. So you should have something like that. Taking my white paint stick again, I'm going to be putting this in the centre of my forehead, just to... What a weird sound. So to fix the highlight, I'm going to be taking a brush like this, and I'm going to be taking my MAC Pro product, which is a full coverage white called Shivering White, which I actually got through the post the other day because I ran out of the one that I got in New York, and this product is something I swear by. I could not do my makeup without it. And I'm just going to press this into the center of my face. Then taking my Studio Fix powder in NC10. This is going to go around that. Also going to take the same powder on a powder puff and fixing just directly underneath the brow. Again, this is a problem zone for most drag queens, so I like to fix it with a full coverage powder, just for security reasons. And taking the white matte powder on a blending brush like so, just going to pick some of that product up and fix the highlighted cream powder underneath the brow that we did earlier. Then I'm going to be taking my Johnson's baby powder and fixing the outer corners of the forehead and the eyebrows. I'm going to be doing that on a big dirty powder puff, which I know is gross. I need to get a new one, but this is my face. And if I'm going to give myself a disease, I probably already have it. And brushing off any of the extra powder. I'm going to do my eyes now. I don't really know what I'm going to be doing. I have a makeup brush which already has red on because I'm too lazy to clean my brushes, so I'm probably just going to use a pinky reddy colour because I'm lazy. And I'm going to take this colour here, which is just a nice, slightly off red, and I'm just going to start brushing this through the outer corners of the eye. I like a blown out eye just because it goes with my bum hole. I'm then going to take a clean brush and just sort of blend that out. So I'm just going to take a clean brush and blend out the eyeshadow I've just laid down. Taking a slightly darker red on the same blending brush. and just working this onto the inner corners of my eyes. Finally, taking a dark brown on the same palette, I'm going to be taking this one. Taking the 4W, I'm just going to take that on my finger and I'm just going to press that onto my lid just to act as a base for the pigment I'm about to put on top of it. So a big thank you to George for hooking me up with this amazing product. It is the Topshop Duo Chrome Metallic Magicness in Shuffle the Cards. I'm going to be taking this on my finger. Just going to blend those edges out using the little blending brush. Now, moving on to the face, I'm going to be taking my 4W in the Krylon paint stick, and I'm just going to be working this in down to the circumference of my face. This is a great product for men because it's so thick. Everyone uses it, so I'm not going to explain why. A little bit on the nose, and then taking a damp sponge, just buffing that into the skin. Then when you're happy with that, I'm going to take my white and the paint stick and I'm going to be highlighting under my eyes here. Bringing that highlight all the way out to the hairline. All the way up onto the width of my nose just to cut some of it out. On my chin. And then blending that in using the same sponge. Taking my shivering white, I'm going to be fixing underneath the eye. I'm going to be fixing the chin. And for the rest of the face, I'm going to be taking the NC10 Pressed Powder by MAC. Then taking more of my baby powder, I'm going to be fixing my neck and my jawbone. And brushing off any extra powder. So going into my very dirty palette, I'm going to be taking two of these shades that were sent to me from Makeup Geek. The first one I'm going to be using is Love Triangle. And I'm just going to take this underneath my existing cheekbone and just warming up the face, giving it a slight contour. Now, I don't like using creams anymore to do my contours just because I find it a little pooey. I seem to get a better result just using powders. And I'm going to be taking the same product up onto my temple and contouring my hairline, just because I do have the hairline of a child sex offender, and I'm just trying to soften that up a little bit. Then to intensify that, I'm going to be taking Infidelity by Makeup Geek on the same brush and just going into the outer corners just to add a little bit more depth and drama. Then dipping into my Anastasia contour palette. You can tell which ones I use the most and which ones I don't use. I'm going to be taking the one in the middle, don't know what colour that is, and just working this onto my square manly chin, just to knock it back a bit, and then taking a mixture of all three and just cutting my jaw off. And moving on to my nose contour, I'm going to be taking this really old Max Factor Axe Cream Puff Pressed Powder. This is in shade 13, which is a beige colour. Looks like this, I've used it for years, and it just acts as a slight shadow for contouring my nose, just so I don't get two big brown streaks. And I'm going to be taking this on the ridge of my nose, just to slim it down loads, using a pencil brush, just so I can have a little bit more control over the product. Again, we don't want to bring the eyeshadow all the way down onto the nose just because that will actually make the nose thicker. Now, you don't have to do this trick, however, I like to add a shadow on the tip of my nose just to make it look like the nose is slightly more tilted up. So taking a dark brown eyeshadow, blowing off any extra product, I just like to drop the powder onto my nose, then use a brush just to buff that out. Once you're happy with that, I'm going to take my brush that I used to clean up around my eyebrows, and I'm going to be taking my Krylon paint stick in the white and I'm going to be drawing a tiny little diamond on the tip of my nose. You can blend this out. I like to leave mine as it is, just because I like a pretty defined nose. Then taking Stargazer in 31 Eye Dust, which is a really cute little loose pigment. I'm going to be picking that up on my pencil brush and just fixing that on the nose. And now it is blinding. Again, this nose contour and highlight is not for everyone, but I like a very intense, strong nose. And I'm going to be taking that down the ridge of my nose also, just so the light catches it even more. So to cut underneath the cheekbone, I'm going to be going into my own little mixture. It is 50% baby powder and 50% clown white. I'm going to be pushing this powder like so. I'm going to leave that to cook whilst I finish off my eye makeup. Finishing up the eye, I'm going to be taking the same rose colour on the brush and running this underneath my eye. And then blending that out using a blending brush. Taking my NYX liquid black liner, I'm going to be doing a nice dramatic wing. And I can never complete my eye without doing the inner corner, just to give a more feminine touch. Finishing the eye with Stargazer loose pigment, I'm just going to be taking this into the inner corner. Moving on to lips, I'm going to be lining my lips with a really dark felt tip liner. You don't have to do this. The reason I do this is because when I put the lipsticks on top, it masks the darkness of the brown and it really does look like a shadow when you're under direct lighting. This is a little tip that I've been doing for years and everyone has always tried to change me. However, they will not succeed. So taking Dominatrix by Jeffree Star, I'm going to be working this onto the outer corners of my mouth. Then for the rest of the lip, I'm going to be using Red Rum. Taking my New Balsam lashes, I'm going to be using the 3D Mink lashes in Dragon Lee. You can use my discount code Alexis to receive 20% off your purchases. Before doing so, I'm going to be curling and applying some of my Rocket Volume Express mascara. Last thing for us to do is to brush off the powder underneath the cheekbones. And I am going to put on my outfit and wig and I shall see you in a moment. And here we are with the final look. A big thank you to Webster Wigs for supplying this amazing custom hair. This hair is L in Platinum Blonde and it is one of his custom styles. I will put the links to their store in the description box below. I had so much fun doing this tutorial. I don't get around to doing enough of them. However, during this new chapter in my life, I'm going to be doing tutorials very regularly for you guys. And until next time, stay safe and I shall see you guys very soon.